Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a quick overview of how to use the new Visario tool. So here I've just set up a couple of the mythic fights. You can go into them or you can set up heroic version. So let's go into the first fight, and you can see how each of these abilities has a timestamp, and then you can see each of these swim lanes is a different player. So I've only added the healers plus lull up. You can put whatever abilities you want. All you have to do is left click. So like, let's say we want to put Emerald Communion at 36 seconds. I can then drag it and it will show me, am I 7 seconds after this mechanic or 3 seconds before this mechanic? And then you can see its duration, and you can also see when it will be up again. So, if I use it, I can only use it again after this. If I try to put it inside, it's now showing me that this won't be possible. I can't use Emerald Communion this close together. It's a really, really helpful visual tool to understand the spacing of cooldowns. You can also assign things, obviously, to non-healers. So lull up, I have Wind Rush at 47, for example, and Ancestral Guidance at a different time. So I have all the other cooldowns from the raid in one place. And you can zoom in on any particular time, and you can say, okay, what all do we have running for this moment? And so I think that'll be really great, and allow us to be flexible in the middle of pulls if we need to move things or adjust them. We can add in the rest of the roster. So this is what this looks like. You can also go over to visibility and you can add in defensives. So like maybe I want a reminder to be using Earth Elemental at this particular timestamp because it's pretty spicy. So I'll put in Earth Elemental, and same thing with Stone Bulwark Totem. I also want to be using this at this timestamp. So you can do it with everything, externals, mobility, utility, everything. So you can toggle them on and off so you don't have to see everything. Very, very powerful. So I'll hit save, and then I'll go into the game and show what it looks like. So the best place for us healers to test this and make sure all the settings work and the visuals are exactly how you want them is Eye of Ajara. So you just come here to this first boss. You can open up ERT, go to settings and allow it to show outside of raid. You can do things like hide, without hide lines without your name. Go back to the note, push the note to your, personal note, and then go up and aggro the boss. So I'll aggro him. This is a text note I put in here, of course, just as an example.
This is an example of a very long note. 3, 2, 1. Cloudburst 3, 2, 1. Wind Rush Totem 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so that's an example of how it works, and you just walk out and reset. You can just reset this over and over again until you get the exact look and style and timing and stuff you want. One thing I'll note, when you're editing this weak aura for people who have ramp timers, you notice that Cloudburst told me to drop 3, 2, 1 long before the actual cooldown happened. That's because you can override for individual abilities. So Cloudburst takes 18 seconds to ramp up, right, and then it pops. So here I have it warning me at 20 seconds and then counting down. If I was playing Disc Priest, I would do the same thing. I'd have a certain amount of ramp time until I actually land it. That means that in the actual note, you can have exactly where you want it to hit, and then you use the weak aura to tell you when to begin ramping or when to do whatever. So that's mainly what I wanted to show. I recommend, if we're YOLOing for heroics, that's fine. Each individual healer can have their own note. So here's my note that I might build out for the first boss, right? It doesn't interact with anybody, doesn't mess anybody up. I create this, I save it, I bring it into the game, I create a personal note called, the first boss heroic, and then I set this as personal note, and I have my add-on read the personal note. That way we don't have to worry about stepping on each other's toes, and it's much easier. When we get to Mythic, I would recommend that, of course, we have big raid cooldowns that will be planned by Miz and Lullup and Sadly, and they're in here deciding, where are we going to put Spirit Link, where are we going to put Healing Tide. But I think individual healers should take responsibility and add things like cloudburst and personal cooldowns, where you want to, add in your own little mini ramps that you're going to be doing. Maybe if you're a paladin, you plan out some small things like divine toll. So I think it should be collaborative, and I think that, in theory, we should be able to make small adjustments and then also have, team discussions about big cooldowns, like salve. Like, oh, okay, we really want to salve this early mechanic. Well, that means we're not going to have salve up until around this time. So this is when our second salve will be. So yeah, that's my recommendation.